What's up everybody, hope you're having a great day. Today we're not going to lollygag around or jerk ourselves off in a corner. This video is going to be a long one, so sit back, crack open some paint thinner, drop a like, and let's get started. Charlie, aka MoistCritikal or Penguin Z0 or Moistman or Jesus depending on how you look at him, recently got into a bit of a scuffle with another creator known as DarkViperAU. Most of you guys have either heard of one or the other or both. They're very talented and well-respected creators. Well, they got into a bit of a situation over the last few days, more of a misunderstanding if anything, but I wanted to just sit back with all of you and share with you guys a summarization of the drama that went down between these two guys and what the outcome of it all was. Now before we start, I'm not sitting here making this video defending one person more than the other. I think DarkViper and Charlie made some great points, got some stuff wrong, misunderstood each other, and I just want to sit back and talk about both perspectives. This is just a summarization. I'm not going to nitpick each point made from both perspectives because we'd be here all day if I did that. I just want to talk about the important points made, but both perspectives, being Charlie and DarkViper, will be in the bio below if you want to learn about the situation in greater detail. But without further ado, let's get started. The DarkViperAU came out with a large 14-page Google document talking about how React channels exploit hardworking creators to benefit themselves and how they practically steal millions of dollars in views from the actual creator that the channel is reacting to. So Charlie went ahead and responded to the document in a 30-minute long video entitled, "Are React Streamers Bad?" But it turns out that he got a lot of details wrong in his video, i.e. he misunderstood some points in the document, and DarkViperAU made a response video calling out Charlie on how a lot of major details went over his head, and Charlie since apologized in a recent video entitled Drama Response, but Charlie does clarify some points in his response as well, and it turns out that there were some issues with DarkViper's response video as well, which then DarkViperAU made another response video clarifying some of his points and then apologizing to Charlie as well. The whole thing is just a giant misunderstanding, but we're going to break down some of the most important points now. The only reason why Charlie got involved with this situation was because he was mentioned by name in the document as part of the exploiter class of Twitch React channels that don't give credit to the videos or creators he watches on stream. What's funny is that XQC, Hanson, and Pokey are also mentioned in this section, and I don't mean to put in my 2 cents already, but I've watched Charlie live, I've seen his content, and in my personal opinion, I believe he does provide a lot of input and commentary, enough to warrant his content as fair use. I would say a majority of his content is transformative. And I know right now it sounds like I'm being biased and that I'm favoriting Charlie because he's one of my favorite YouTubers, but I will admit there are times where Charlie does respond to other creators' videos and he just doesn't provide a lot of value to them in my opinion, but that's very rare. Most of the time Charlie is on top of things. He provides a lot of value and input to the content that he's reacting to. Charlie doesn't go live on Twitch one day and just start playing videos in the background while jerking off. He provides a lot of context, information, jokes, etc. whenever he reacts to another piece of content. Whereas other people will sit on stream, watch a copyrighted show about a bald kid with a tattoo arrow on their head, and say and do nothing. That being said, Charlie announced in his drama response video that DarkViper made a point that there's no way to transform a piece of content to make it original if you react to the full video on stream or on a video. So that being said, Charlie is no longer going to watch an entire video on his stream going forward. Instead, he will be taking video suggestions from his community, and he will watch a small portion of the videos suggested, and whether he can or cannot add value to the video he's watching, he will move on and watch the rest of the video in his free time. And if he can provide enough value to the content that he's reacting to, he might turn that into a full YouTube video. That being said, there is a point that Charlie also made, that reacting to content is only a small portion of what he does as a creator online, which I totally understand because I personally watch his content. He isn't just a reactor, he does make original content as well. Reacting to videos on streams is just a small portion of what he actually does. I mean, yeah, he plays games on stream, he films with his friends, he works on music, he has a comic series. Like, Charlie is very deserving of the 10 million subscribers he has on YouTube and his millions of followers on other social media accounts like Twitter and Twitch, because he does know how to push boundaries. And the reason why Charlie makes that point that he isn't just a reactor is because I guess DarkViper only makes it a point to talk about Charlie's reaction content, but fails to mention any of the other major pieces of content that Charlie provides to the internet. Now, DarkViper gets super dramatic and passionate in his response video, his first original response video, which I totally understand because Charlie took a lot of points from the document out of context and because Charlie's following is massive compared to DarkViper's, people from Charlie's community are going to believe every single word, every single opinion, input that this man has to say instead of just reading the full document and trying to understand DarkViper's perspective. And if you're a smaller creator trying to make a point and a larger creator takes your point and misconstrues it to millions of people, you'll feel attacked and probably misrepresented, and that could hurt your brand and internet identity. But at the same time, it seems like DarkViper is misrepresenting Charlie as a terrible person, a soulless individual who steals other people's content for clicks and views, which just isn't true. Charlie is probably one of the most generous creators on the internet, and DarkViper does apologize for misrepresenting Charlie in his follow-up response, where he does clarify some points, admits his wrongs, etc., which we will touch on in a bit. There was a point in the document that I personally did not agree with, comparing reactors to someone who would commit sexual abuse. Even though sexual abuse and rape is not mentioned by word in the document, the wording alludes to reactors being compared to people who don't ask for consent. Now, while DarkViper did clarify that he wasn't calling reactors rapists, it's worded in a weird way, and I, along with a lot of other people, just did not enjoy the wording. It's a very bad, terrible analogy, and people who will read that document might start to associate sexual abuse and not asking for consent with Charlie and Pokey and XQC and anyone that was mentioned by name in that document, which isn't good for their internet personality and brand as well. Like I mentioned before, Charlie only responded to this document because he was mentioned by name in a document, and the fact that his and DarkViper's community brought the document to his attention. But there's a possibility that some community members might have told Charlie that DarkViper mentioned him in the document, and that he also mentioned that reactors are people who don't ask for consent, and they're being compared to people who sexually abuse others and take advantage of others, and that might have annoyed Charlie a bit. Now, DarkViper does also call out Charlie for not including his document in the description of the original video that Charlie uploaded for people to read and to fact check him on, and in Charlie's defense, he purposely did not link DarkViper's document in the description of his video because he did not want people to trace the document back to Viper's tweet and harass and attack him, which is smart because you cannot control your entire audience at the end of the day. Charlie's intentions were good, but unfortunately, it did not matter whether he included the document or not in his description. We'll touch on that in a second. Now, like I mentioned before, DarkViper has made a new response video where he discusses some points further and even owns up to some misunderstandings of his own, just as Charlie did in his response video. And I think that these two guys are just super genuine people for not only apologizing to each other publicly, but also for owning up to their own wrongdoings. DarkViper did not mean to start drama with anyone. He only wrote the document just to get the whole story out of his head. I guess he just had that document brewing in his head forever, and he just wanted to get it out on paper and be done with it. But he also admits that the document script was not 100% complete, so people were bound to misunderstand certain points. I completely understand having to write your thoughts out in order to feel better and have a clear head, but obviously releasing an unfinished script wasn't smart either. Now, he did not expect the document to blow up outside of his community, but unfortunately it did. Dark is also very aware that his document will not end React content for good because of the revenue being made and how popular the genre is, and he even admits that his doc is just like an old man rambling, and he wasn't expecting his document to change the internet forever. He does double down on his consent analogy, which I still don't fully agree with, but he tries to clarify that it's not exactly what people are trying to make the analogy out to be. He's not calling reactors rapists, but simply feels that they don't ask for consent before showing another person's video on their channel. Now let's get back to talking about how Charlie did not link DarkViper's document in the description of his original video. DarkViper also makes a point that even though Charlie did not want people to harass him by linking the document in his description, Charlie's videos got on the trending tab. So unless Charlie just did not expect the drama to blow up as much as it did, it doesn't matter whether he linked the document in his video bio or not. People still found DarkViper, they found his tweet, they found his document, and they attacked him for it. I'm totally against harassment, like I've mentioned plenty of times before, and I think Charlie had good intentions to not post a document in his bio, but unfortunately, people still went after Dark as well, and that's not cool. As of now, DarkViper and Charlie have talked things over, and it looks like they both worked out their issues. I don't think this drama was malicious. In fact, I think this was just one giant misunderstanding between both of them. I believe both of these guys are great people who just didn't quite understand each other's points, and it's great that they were able to talk and work everything out. This was probably one of the most civil disputes ever on the internet, and even though life would be really boring without major debacles on the internet between two creators, I wish all drama was just talked over like this. Now, for me personally, as a commentary channel, I sometimes react to different pieces of content, Now, I'm not 100% a React channel. I don't define myself as a React channel or anything like that. But sometimes if I'm not reading into some drama or popular news, I'll react to some videos. But I don't just react to a video with my webcam in the bottom corner of the screen, eating food, jerking off while the video plays, and mumble like maybe every 10 minutes. I provide opinions, context, I make stupid jokes, I add enough to the conversation, and I'll admit that I'm not perfect at giving credit all of the time to the people who have made some of the content that I have reacted to, and that's 100% on me. That's my own fault. But sometimes I try to keep the usernames anonymous solely because there are people who will go out of their own way to harass and target those people, even if I put a disclaimer in my video. So going forward, if I'm reacting in a good way to a video, I will 100% put credit in the description and in the video, and I will also not showcase the entire video unless it's very short, because I do believe that the original creator of the video that I or anyone else reacts to should gain more in terms of views and support. But when it comes to talking about someone in a negative context, I'm probably going to continue refraining from giving out their information and putting links in the description just because I don't think harassment is good, even if the person is a living nightmare. And before you say anything, I'm not making these changes because someone is telling me to. I just see the Critical and DarkViper arguments, and I think they both make a lot of great points, and other channels like me should probably make some adjustments to our content for the greater good of the internet. In my opinion, as long as the content is transformative enough, it's okay to upload, which I strive to do in every React video that I post on this channel. The only bad React content, in my opinion, are people who watch full videos without giving any value to it, basically stealing the content and re-uploading it with just a webcam in the bottom right corner, and that's it. I will link Charlie and DarkViper's videos in the description if you want to check them out for yourselves. This video was just a complete summarization of the drama between these two wonderful individuals, so not all of the details were mentioned here, but you can check out their full videos to get the full picture if you want, and I'll also link DarkViper's document in the bio as well if you want to read like 14 pages. Please do not harass either of these guys. They're both great creators who just unfortunately misunderstood each other, but they apparently worked everything out, so props to them. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if I got any details wrong in this video, so if I got anything wrong in this video, guys, please correct me nicely in the comments below. And if I get anything wrong, I'll update the description or the top comment or something. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, follow me on all of my social links, and join my zesty flaming hot Discord server. Links are in the description below. Have a great day, everyone. And remember that sometimes drama can be beautiful.